Hi there, my name's Adam Troop, and basically I've just sold my first ever professional video camera, which was the Sony AX2000, and I shot with that for probably a year and a half, maybe a couple of years before I moved on to the GH2, then to the 5D Mark III, and now to the a7S2, which I'm shooting side by side here. Basically, I've just sold this camera, the AX2000, and I wanted to see what the difference in quality was like, you know, where I came from and where I am now with the Sony a7S2. So, I mean, I know it might seem like a silly comparison, but I was just very intrigued. So basically, I've tried to match the Sony shot using the zoom on the AX2000 best I can. On the a7S2, I've got a brand new 35mm f1.4 Sony. Is it Sony's Ice? I think. Yes, Sony's Ice. Sony's Ice. You know, fantastic lens from what I've seen. Very sharp. I'm shooting at 1.4 at the moment, just to really exaggerate the difference in depth of field you can achieve between these two cameras. Hopefully, it's focusing on me. And now what I'm going to do is just whack the Sony to 2.8, then to f4, and then to f5.6, just to really see the difference between the two. The two cameras at different apertures. So now Sony AX2000 and the Sony a7S2 at 2.8, f2.8 with the 35mm 1.4. So I should be seeing, you know, even sharper images on the a7S2. I mean, to be fair, I'm shooting in 4K with an exceptional prime lens against the AX2000, but this is how I shoot now. I shoot with these fantastic lenses, and I want to see, you know, just how much better is it than what I started on with what at the time I was extremely happy with. I mean, it was a huge jump up from the, you know, consumer cameras I was using. Right, let's go to f4. Okay, so now we're at f4 on the Sony a7S2, and just the same whatever it is on the AX2000. I've got the ND filter set to 1 and 0 gain, so I basically should be at the widest aperture on the AX2000. So, you know, I'm not really going to change the depth of field. It's so shallow, there's no point in closing it up. I'm, you know, not going to see much difference at all there. But finally, let's go to, well, do f5.6 and f8. This is the last opportunity to do this, so let's give it a shot. Okay, so now we're at f5.6 on the Sony against the Sony AX2000. It's interesting, Sony, Panasonic, Canon, and back to Sony. It's just interesting. Okay, finally, let's look at f8, which should be kind of roughly, you know, the lens's sharp. Tends to be lens's sharpest points, f8, you know, not always, but let's put it to f8. Okay, so, I mean, I should say, you know, I'm comparing these cameras, and do you know, one of the handiest things is I've got this flip out screen, which you can't see, but, you know, I can actually look at myself on the AX2000, and I just note the fact that I've framed it very similar, that, you know, I'm going to be roughly in the same spot on the Sony screen. At least I hope, obviously. I'm not bothering to use the app or anything, so I'll find out if I've completely, you know, messed this up when I go up to the computer in a minute. So I think one last look at f1.4 on the Sony, and I'll do a little autofocus test, you know, just for fun. Okay, so I should be roughly, I know that autofocus isn't fantastic on the a7S2. It's obviously better than some other cameras, better than the 5D Mark III, didn't have any, you know, video autofocus at all. So, like, I'm just going to walk up to the cameras, there's two of them, I don't quite know which one to look at, but yeah, and I'll walk away again. This is kind of a wee bit of an autofocus test. I did a whole bunch of these for about 5 different Sony fit lenses, so this is a wee bit of a, you know, from what I've seen, the 35 1.4 seems to be pretty good for autofocus, and I'm just going to go, and I'm back. So let's see how quickly it adjusts to that. So anyway, I really don't have time to do any more testing, which is such a shame. It would have been fun to do a lot more side by side between the AX2000 and the a7S2, completely different cameras. But I need to go and box this thing up and ship it off. Thanks for watching. I hope that was interesting for you. It was really for myself, but, you know, I thought I would share it with the world. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and all that stuff, and see you later.